Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Mangesh Tushin, working as assistant professor in Satana College, Nashik. Friends, in last video we have started electrogravimetry. In that case, in last video we have completed introduction to electrogravimetry, principles of electrogravimetry, units of some electrical units. Then we have completed the terminology used in electrogravimetric analysis, polarization effect, as well as decomposition potential. Friends, in this video we will complete or we will learn electrode reactions, over potentials and completeness of deposition. Friends, in electrogravimetric analysis, we have interested in the electrolysis of salt solution. It is necessary to study the reactions of the conditions under which they takes place at the electrodes. Initially, we must know what voltage should be applied to the cell which causes the electrolysis. For this, it is necessary to know that what reactions will occur at electrodes. If these reactions are known, it is possible to calculate the potential of each electrode and hereby determine the EMF of galvanic cell which exerts its potential in opposition to the applied voltage. We'll take the example of uh, zero point 0.1 molar CuSO4 in 1 molar H2SO4 with platinum electrode. So the reaction at the cathode will be copper 2 plus ion plus 2 electrons will give you metallic copper, and the reaction at the anode will be 2H2O will give you O2 molecule plus 4 ions of H plus 4 electrons. By using the Nernst equation, the potential of electrode and anode at 25 degrees Celsius will be, if we apply the Nernst equation, then the potential of uh, at cathode will be uh, potential of this electrode is equal to potential, that is standard electrode potential of the copper, plus 0.0591 divided by the number of electrons used in this reaction, that is 2, into log of 10 raised to minus 1 divided by 1. This is 10 raised to minus 1 is the concentration of copper sulfate and 1 is the concentration of metal, that is considered as a 1. Now if we put the values, that is standard electrode potential for this electrode, that is copper electrode, is 0.337, that is constant value, plus this dividation, that is 0.0296, log of this value is minus 1. So the electrode potential at cathode will be 0.3075 volt. Now we will see the electrode potential at the anode. The formula is standard electrode potential for the oxygen electrode plus 0.0591 divided by number of electrons which are involved, that is 4, into log of concentration of oxygen into concentration of hydrogen ion raised to 4. This 4 is because of here is the 4 atoms are there, divided by concentration of H2O square. Square is there, there are 2 molecules, that's why this is square. Friends, in this case the concentration of oxygen, that is partial pressure of oxygen gas, that is 0.21 atmosphere, because the percentage of oxygen in air is 21%. So this concentration will be 0.21. Next is the concentration of water. It is considered as a 1 because it is used as a in very large amount, that is considered as a constant. That's why it's considered as a 1. The standard electrode potential for this oxygen is 1.229 volt. So if you are putting these values into this equation, then the standard electrode potential for oxygen, that is 1.229 plus this value becomes 0.0148 log of this will become now 0.21. If you solve this equation, answer will be 1.219 volt. Friends, the cell EMF is the algebraic difference of the electrode potential of two half cells comprising the electrolytic cell, that is E cell, is equal to electrode potential for the cathode minus electrode potential of the anode. That will be cathode is 0.3075 minus 1.219, that will become minus 0.9116, is around 0.91 volt. Therefore, the EMF of the galvanic cell is minus 0.91 volt. When the applied voltage is exactly 0.91 volt, then there will be no flow of the electric current in any direction, which is the principal potentiometric measurement. As soon as the applied voltage is in excess of that of the galvanic cell potential, IR drop, and the sum of over potentials of anode as well as cathode, the current is forced to flow through the electrolytic cell and the reaction will proceed from right to left. Now we will see what is over potential. When the current flows across the electrode and solution interface, there is a normally observed that the electrode potential changes from its the reversible value it possesses before the passage of the current. The difference between measured potential and its reversible value is called as over potential. The difference between measured value, that is measured potential, and its reversible value is called as over potential, and the combined over potential of each electrode in a cell is called as over voltage. The combined over potential of each electrode in a cell is called as over voltage. The electrodes are said to be polarized, that can be called as a kinetic polarization. The current in a kinetically polarized cell is governed by the rate of electron transfer than the mass transfer. So whatever the current in a kinetically polarized cell is governed by the rate of electron transfer rather than the rate of mass transfer. The over potential causes the applied potential to be more negative than the calculated value. Thus, the applied voltage, which is equal to the decomposition temperature, which is required to start the electrolysis, becomes, that is decomposition potential is equal to E cathode minus E anode plus in bracket E over potential of cathode minus E over potential of anode. E is for EMF, electromotive force. This over potential, it depends upon various factors at the cathode and anode. Those factors are a nature and physical state of metal electrode. This is a very important factor. It is found that the reaction involving the evolution of gas usually develops the over potential at an electrode. In such case, the physical state of electrode, That is, whether the electrode surface is smooth, bright, rough, or platinized decide the extent of overpotential. For example, the overpotential developed at the platinized platinum electrode is less than that at platinum electrode. This happens because platinized platinum electrode offers large effective surface area than the platinum electrode, which subsequently results in decrease in electron current density. Second factor is the physical state of substance deposited. If the substance deposited on the electrode is a metal, then overpotential is very small. If the substance deposited on the electrode is a gas like H2 or O2, the electrode potential is relatively large. Third factor is the current density. If the current density is around 0.01 ampere per square centimeter, the overpotential increases very rapidly. But above this limit, the overpotential increases but less rapidly. So current density means current per square centimeter. That is, if that is 0.01 ampere per square centimeter, the overpotential increases but very rapidly. By above this limit, the overpotential increases very slowly. Fourth factor is the change in concentration. As we know that during the electrolysis, that the concentration of the electrolyte at electrode surface is different than that of the bulk solution. Generally, the metal ion concentration at the cathode interface is just 1% of the bulk concentration. So, this gives rise to overpotential. So, overpotential due to change in concentration is minimized by using the electrode having large surface area and small current during the electrolysis. However, there are other factors like current density, temperature and rate of the stirring of the solution also affects the overpotential. Fifth factor is the temperature. As the temperature is raised, the overpotential is reduced. And for most of the electrode, the temperature coefficient is about 2 millivolt per degree Celsius. So the temperature, if you increase, the overpotential will be less. Now we'll see gas overpotential. Friends, the overpotential of hydrogen and oxygen are particularly important in electrolytic determination. That is called as gas overpotential. These are the some values of overpotential of hydrogen on various surfaces. So in this case, the electrolyte is a 1 molar H2SO4. This is 1 molar H2SO4 electrolyte, and these are the various cathode metal cathodes like antimony, bismuth, cadmium, copper, gold, lead, mercury, platinum, silver, tin, and these are the first visible gas bubbles at which the potential difference, that is EMF, that is for antimony that is 0.23 volt, for bismuth that is 0.29 volt. The observation is that the hydrogen overpotential is greatest for the relatively soft metals such as bismuth, then cadmium, then tin, zinc, especially for the mercury that is 0.80. The existence of hydrogen overpotential makes possible the electrogrametric determination of the metal like cadmium, zinc, which is otherwise could not be possible, could not be deposited over before the reduction of hydrogen atom. Gas overpotential depends upon the following factors like electrode material, current density, electrode conditions, temperature and pH also. Now you see the completeness of deposition, that is the completeness of electrolysis of the solution. The voltage applied, that is E applied, to the electrolytic cell must be equal to or greater than the decomposition potential or back EMF and the ohmic resistance of the solution. That formula will become the decomposition potential is equal to the E cathode minus E anode plus the over potential at cathode minus over potential at anode plus ohmic resistance. Let us consider the variation of EMF at the cathode during deposition of the metal. Suppose the copper is deposited at the cathode and oxygen is deposited at the anode. Let the ionic concentration in the beginning of copper, that is copper be the 0.1 molar, then the cathode potential at 25 degrees Celsius will be E, that is E cell is equal to the standard electrode potential of cathode plus 0.0591 divided by number of electrons which are involved into log of concentration of copper, that is 0.1 divided by the metallic copper, that is 1. This is the Nernst equation. If you put the values, that is E cell equal to the standard electrode potential for the copper, that is 0.337 plus 0.0295 into into minus 1. The E cell will be 0.3075 volt. Suppose during the deposition the concentration of metal decreases. Let's say that they decreased by 10 times. That is, the concentration becomes 0.1 to 0.01 molar. If you put this concentration in Nernst equation, then E cell will become 0.337 plus 0.0295 into log of 10 raised to 2. So that will become E cell equal to 0.2779 volt. So if you compare, as the concentration decreases, the E cell is also decreases. If the concentration of copper ion becomes 0.001 molar, then the E cell again will get decreased, that will be again 0.2485 volt. The cathode potential changes very nearly by 0.0295 volt for each tenfold decrease in the concentration of copper ions remaining undeposited. This means that if we start with 0.1 molar solution of copper ion, the electrolysis can be continued till the concentration of copper ion reduced to 10 raised to minus 4 molar. In other words, the electrolysis can be continued till the cathode potential changes from 0.3075 to 0.2188 volt. As the electrolysis proceeds, the cathode metal becomes more and more negative and the EMF of the cell goes on increasing. Suppose potential, that is E cell equal to E cathode minus E anode. If you check this one, the E anode is constant, that is 1.229, while this potential at cathode goes on decreasing, so that the E cell, that is goes on increasing. Thus, the back EMF produced by the cell goes on increasing as the metal becomes more negative with more and more deposition of the metal on the cathode. It follows then that the applied EMF should also increase correspondingly. For the quantitative deposition, the applied EMF must be equal to or greater than the back EMF. So in electrolysis, the applied EMF should be sufficiently higher considering the reduction of the concentration of metal ions, and this ensures the completeness of deposition of the metal. Now let's see what are the conditions for precipitation, that is deposition in electrolytic cell. The condition for the metal deposition is that the potential difference between electrolyte and the cathode must be less than reversible deposition potential of hydrogen plus the ore potential of hydrogen, that is OH2 for the metal. So the relationship is given as the E solution metal should be less than the reversible deposition potential for the hydrogen plus the ore potential of the hydrogen, that is OH2 for the metal. If you reverse the cell, that will be minus deposition potential for the hydrogen. But the Nernst equation is the deposition potential for the hydrogen is equal to the standard electrode potential for the hydrogen electrode plus 0.0591 divided by number of electrons are inward, that is 1 log of hydrogen ion concentration. If you put the values, the standard hydrogen electrode potentially is 0 minus 0.0591 into minus log of H plus ions. So here we put a negative over here and negative over here. So total value will be positive. So this value becomes negative. Here will be, instead of H plus ions, here is now minus log of H plus ions. So if as we know that minus log of H plus ions is pH of the solution. If you multiplied by negative sign for both the sides, then this will become 0.0591 into pH. That's why the E solution metal is less than 0.0591 pH plus ore potential of hydrogen at 25 degree Celsius. If the cathode potential, that is E cathode ion, is substituted by E solution metal, the condition becomes E metal ion is less than 0.0591 pH plus ore potential of hydrogen. Here E metal ion is equal to E cathode ion. So friends, in this video we have learned the completeness of deposition, conditions for the deposition, ore potentials and electrode reactions. In next video we will learn applications of electrogravimetry. Thank you friends.